When my sister announced her engagement, I was genuinely happy for her. We'd had our differences growing up. But despite everything, she was still my sister. We fought, laughed, and shared secrets no one else knew. So when she asked me to be her maid of honor, I said yes without hesitation. I didn't realize that her wedding would destroy the illusion of what I thought family meant, and uncover a truth that would change my life forever. My name is Clara, and for 8 years I've raised my daughter, Ella, mostly on my own. Her father, Daniel, and I split before she was born. But he's been part of her life, and we've managed to co-parent peacefully. My sister Maya always had a soft spot for Ella. She'd take her shopping, bring her little gifts, and post pictures of them, together like she was the cool aunt. I never questioned it. I thought she loved Ella the way I did. The morning of Maya's wedding was chaos, the kind that only happens when you mix expensive dresses, family drama, and fragile egos. I was helping Ella with her shoes when my mother burst into the room asking why the photographer hadn't arrived yet. Typical. I brushed off the stress and focused on my daughter. She looked beautiful in her little white dress, a miniature version of the bridesmaids. She was so excited to be part of the ceremony. At the venue, everything was picture perfect. The floral archway, the music, the guests dressed like royalty. But when Ella and I approached our seats, something strange caught my eye. Each place card had a name written in elegant gold cursive, except one. Ella's. Her card read, "Fake daughter." At first I thought it was a sick joke, maybe some childish prank. But when Ella picked it up and read it out loud, her little voice trembling, my heart shattered. The chatter around us quieted as people turned to stare. She looked up at me, confused, embarrassed, and hurt. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I just felt cold. My eyes went straight to the head table, where Maya was watching. Her expression was unreadable, but there was something in her smirk that told me this wasn't a mistake. I took Ella's hand, turned around, and walked out. Guests whispered behind us, phones recording. The orchestra still playing like nothing had happened. I didn't look back once. 30 minutes later, my phone started ringing. Over and over. Maya, my mother, Daniel, all calling nonstop. But I didn't answer, because in that moment, I knew one thing with absolute certainty. Someone wanted to humiliate my daughter, and I was going to find out who. When I got home, I sat on the couch holding Ella while she sobbed into my shoulder. Every few seconds she'd ask, "Mommy, why did they call me fake?" I didn't have an answer. How do you explain cruelty to a child? How do you explain that sometimes? The people closest to us are the ones who hurt us the most? I texted Maya. What was that supposed to mean? Who did that to her? No response. I called Daniel next. His voice was quiet, heavy with confusion. "Clara, I swear I had nothing to do with this. I didn't even know you guys were seated apart. I was at the groom's table." He sounded sincere, but part of me still wondered. My family had never fully accepted him. They thought he was beneath me, that I'd ruined my life getting pregnant so young. Maybe this was their twisted way of showing it. An hour later, my mother showed up at my door, flustered, her makeup streaked with tears. "You embarrassed your sister," she snapped the moment I opened the door. Walking out like that, people were whispering. "Embarrassed her?" I interrupted, my voice trembling with anger. "Mom, someone called my daughter a fake. She's 8 years old." My mother hesitated, glancing toward Ella's room. "You're overreacting, Clara. It was probably a mistake." "A mistake doesn't spell fake daughter in gold cursive," I shot back. That's when I saw it, the flicker in her expression. Guilt. She knew something. I stepped closer. "Tell me the truth, Mom. What's going on?" Her lips trembled. She shook her head, whispering, "This isn't how you should find out." My stomach dropped. Find out what? She wouldn't meet my eyes. Maya said she couldn't live with it anymore. She said you deserved to know. Ella's not... I froze. Not what? Tears welled in her eyes. Not Daniel's. The words didn't make sense at first. I blinked, trying to process them, but they hung in the air like smoke I couldn't breathe through. "What are you talking about?" I demanded. My mother's voice cracked. "When you and Daniel broke up, you were a wreck. Maya was around a lot back then. She and Daniel, they made a mistake. You found out you were pregnant soon after. Everyone thought it was Daniel's, but Maya always knew the truth." I staggered back. No, that's insane. She's my sister. She wouldn't... But deep down, something clicked. Ella's eyes. That familiar smile I could never quite place. It wasn't a mistake. The truth hit me so hard it nearly took my breath away. My daughter was my sister's child. I don't remember the moment I decided to leave the house. One minute I was staring at the floor. Shaking the next I was in my car. Gripping the steering wheel so tightly my knuckles turned white. I drove on instinct. Headlights slicing through the night. Tears blurring my vision. My phone rang again and again, Maya's name flashing across the screen. I let it ring until it stopped. When I pulled into the hotel where the wedding reception was being held, the parking lot was half empty. Most guests had already gone home, probably with stories to tell about the dramatic sister who stormed out. I didn't care. I wasn't there for them. I found Maya on the terrace, still in her wedding dress, veil gone, makeup smeared, a glass of champagne dangling from her fingers. She didn't look surprised to see me. "So," she said quietly without turning around, "Mom told you." I swallowed hard, my voice hoarse. "How long have you known?" She finally faced me, eyes red but defiant. "Since the beginning. Since the test." My head spun. "You knew I was pregnant and you said nothing? You watched me raise her, watched her call me mommy, and you—" "I didn't plan it, Clara," she snapped, her voice breaking. "It was one night. You and Daniel were fighting all the time, and he came to me drunk, saying it was over between you two. I didn't think—" "You never think," I screamed, my voice echoing off the marble walls. "You always take what you want and then act like the victim." Tears spilled down her cheeks, streaking her foundation. I tried to forget. I thought I could live with it if I stayed quiet. But when I saw Ella growing up, every time she looked at me, it was like seeing myself. "It ate at me, Clara. I couldn't stand pretending anymore." "Pretending?" I choked. "You humiliated an 8-year-old girl in front of everyone to ease your guilt?" Her shoulders slumped. "I didn't mean for it to go that far. I only told Mom I wanted you to know. I don't know who made that place card. I wanted to believe her, but I couldn't. My heart was torn between fury and disbelief. Do you realize what you've done? You've destroyed everything. Ella's life, mine, Daniel's." At the mention of his name, she flinched. "He knows," she whispered. The world went still. "What?" Maya looked down, twisting the ring on her finger. "Daniel knew. He took a paternity test years ago before Ella was born. He never told you because he didn't want to lose her, or you." For a moment, all sound disappeared. Just the faint rustle of wind through the vines and my own, heartbeat pounding in my ears. They both knew. The two people I trusted most had built my entire life on a lie. I don't remember driving to Daniel's house. My body just moved on autopilot. My mind spiraling through fragments of every memory we'd shared. The laughter, the fights, the birth of our daughter. Our daughter. Or was she ever really mine? When he opened the door, he looked like he hadn't slept in days. His tie was gone, shirt untucked, eyes rimmed red. For the first time, he didn't try to speak first. He just looked at me. And that silence said more than words ever could. "You knew," I whispered. He closed his eyes and nodded once, as if he'd been waiting for this moment to finally arrive. "How long?" I demanded, my voice trembling. "Since before she was born," he said quietly. "I took the test when you were 2 months pregnant. Maya told me she thought it might be mine. I didn't want to believe it. My knees went weak. And you let me live a lie for 8 years? I wasn't trying to hurt you, Clara." His voice cracked. "I loved you. I still do. But when I saw you with Ella, the way you cared for her, you were her mother in every way that mattered. I couldn't take that away from you." My chest tightened, fury and heartbreak fighting for space. "You had no right to decide that. You both made a choice for me, for her. She deserved to know the truth, not this circus of lies." He ran a hand through his hair, pacing. "I thought I was protecting her. And you. Maya wanted to tell you years ago, but I stopped her. I thought maybe time would bury it. Time doesn't bury lies, Daniel. It just grows them roots." He looked up then, eyes glistening. "I'm sorry. I swear I didn't want it to happen like this. Did you love her?" I asked suddenly. "Maya." He froze. That was all the answer I needed. I turned toward the door. "You both took something from me that I can never get back. My trust, my peace." "Clara, please," he said, stepping forward. "She's still your daughter in every way that counts." I stopped and looked at him, my voice low but steady. "No, Daniel. She's my niece, but she's my child too because I raised her. You and Maya may have given her life, but I gave her love." He stood there, speechless, as I left. When I got home, Ella was asleep on the couch, clutching her stuffed bunny, her cheeks still streaked with dried tears. I knelt beside her, brushing her hair back from her forehead. I didn't know what the future held, but I knew one thing. I wasn't going to let the sins of 2 adults destroy an innocent child. The following morning, sunlight streamed through the curtains as if mocking the darkness sitting inside me. Every word from the night before echoed in my head. I took the test. I thought time would bury it, but lies like that don't stay buried. They rot everything they touch. I sat at the kitchen table with a cup of untouched coffee, staring at the clock. It was just past 8. Maya hadn't called, and I hadn't reached out either. What could she possibly say? Sorry for stealing your life? When Ella shuffled into the kitchen in her pajamas, clutching her bunny, I forced a smile. Morning, sweetheart. She blinked at me sleepily. Mommy, are you mad at Aunt Maya? Her small voice cracked something in me. I couldn't lie anymore. Not to her, not to myself. But she was only 8. How could she possibly understand something like this? I'm not mad at you, I said softly, kneeling beside her. And whatever happens, that will never change. You're my girl, okay? She nodded, wrapping her little arms around my neck. That hug grounded me. In that moment, I realized that no matter what blood said, love was thicker than DNA. After dropping her at school, I drove straight to Maya's house. She was sitting on the porch, her wedding ring still on her finger, her eyes swollen from crying. I thought you'd never come, she said quietly. I didn't come for you, I replied. I came for answers. She took a deep breath. When it happened, I was lost. You'd just broken up with Daniel for a few weeks. And I was jealous. Jealous of your peace, your independence, your strength. One night I drank too much and he was just there. It wasn't love, Clara, it was weakness. 8 years of weakness? I snapped. Tears spilled down her cheeks. I wanted to tell you every day, but you were happy. You called Ella your miracle. I couldn't take that from you. You already did, I said quietly. We sat in silence for a long time. Finally, she whispered, I don't expect forgiveness. I just want you to know I never stopped loving you as my sister. I don't know if I can forgive you, I admitted. But I can't let hate raise Ella either. She deserves better than the truth being a weapon. Maya nodded, crying harder. That evening, I picked Ella up from school. We stopped at the park, her favorite place. As she ran ahead toward the swings, I watched her, this bright, kind soul who brought light into my broken world. Maybe someday when she's older, I'll tell her everything. But for now, I'll let her just be a child innocent, loved and safe. I may have lost a sister and a partner, but I refuse to lose myself. As I watched the sunset reflect in her eyes, I whispered to the wind, she's mine. Not because of blood, but because I choose her. Every single day.